All right, who is here on Barrera? Is this the one with the interpreter?
Yes.
Okay. And there's an application, correct?
Yes, Judge.
Court is calling 2024 CR 007382, State of Texas versus Sergio Barrera. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
And Perez settlement.
Defense.
John Perez for defense.
Are you Mr. Barrera?
Say. Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with driving while intoxicated second as a Class A misdemeanor? Range of punishment is up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine. Did you understand?
Say.
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
No.
No,
Sorry, no sé.
I'm arrested.
All right. Punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. State is proceeding on the lesser included offense of driving while intoxicated second. There's a $2,000 fine and the state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Say.
Yes.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your probation be for a term of 2 years. There'll be 3 days in the Bexar County Jail, a 2-year Texas driver's license suspension, ignition interlock for full term, and scram for 90 days, and 150 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Say.
Yes.
Then to the offense of driving while intoxicated second, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Culpable.
Guilty.
Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Actually, Judge, I was going to ask if we could give my client some time just to, because of the 3 days, either give him some time to turn himself in or recall for next week to
No, we're going to proceed.
order PSI, then, I don't know.
I mean, if you want a PSI, I can give you a PSI, but the PSI may be suggesting something differently than what the court will do. It's completely up to you.
Let me ask my client.
Sure.
We were hoping to try to get him something because this was not an offer we expected to get today. They only offer, so we weren't anticipating this.
Okay.
Let me talk to him.
All right. Mr. Contreras,
Ma'am.
the state has filed dismissals in your case. And the reason for their dismissal is they say that they are dismissing for further investigation. Defense, do you have any objections to the court signing the dismissal?
No, Judge.
All right. So what that means, if there's more that comes up, then they may refile. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I don't know the surrounding circumstances of this case whatsoever, but it sounds to me that you may need to read the driver's handbook again. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
That neck tattoo, I know it was painful. It had to have been.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Could I get a file on Contreras, please? Thank you. Just one moment. I see 3 cases here.
He's on probation. You placed him on probation. He's going to die. He's in custody waiting transfer to ISF.
Ah, that is why.
Yes.
All right. So here's the thing. All parties thought that you should be on probation. Don't do wrong on this probation. If there's an issue, let the court know and take advantage and internalize what is happening at that program. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You have a great day.
You too. Who's here on Brenda Carpenter? All right. So where are we on Miss Carpenter?
Your Honor, we're still reviewing the evidence. This is a first setting. We may have one more reset to evaluate all the evidence and maybe thereafter given a plea deadline.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Carpenter for discovery? All right, and what specifically is outstanding, or is there anything
No,
outstanding?
it's not outstanding. It's just reviewing all of the evidence.
All right, so we'll come back on September 30th. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. I appreciate that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, Mr. Dunbar, if you'll find a stable location, have a seat, please.
Hi, Mr. Dunbar, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Dunbar, we're gonna do what's called the swearing in over your plea paperwork, okay?
Okay.
All right, if you could raise your right hand for me. You are Christian Theodore Dunbar, the defendant in case number 2024 CR 5294.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Dunbar, did you have an opportunity with your attorney to go over your waiver, consent to stipulations, and its attachments?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear that everything is true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your signature? And I know it's kind of small, but right here, did you sign electronically
Yes.
as well as here on this card?
Yes.
Mr. Dunbar, did you also review your court's admonishments and your jury waiver stipulation?
Yes, ma'am.
Were your constitutional rights discussed with you and did you understand those rights?
Yes.
Were you advised that by signing this document today, you are entering into a plea and waiving a jury trial?
Yes.
Yep. And was that your intention today?
Yes, ma'am.
And is this your signature right here?
Yes.
As well as both parts of your plea bargain here and here?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Dunbar. You can put your hand down. I'm going to put everything together.
All right. So the parties on Sergio Barrera, are you all ready?
We are ready, Judge.
What would it mean?
Ready, Judge.
What would it mean?
Mr. Dunbar, if you'll mute yourself for a moment, please. All right. Does your client, we're back on the record in 2024 CR 007382. Does your client wish to have a PSI?
We wish to waive the PSI, Judge.
All right. All right. Is there anything you wish to say on your client's behalf?
We just ask that you follow the agreement, Judge.
All right. Mr. Barrera, are you receiving any type of treatment for drugs or alcohol?
No, nomás estoy tomando pastillas para la presión.
No, I'm just taking pills for the blood pressure.
All right. So how often have you been drinking?
Tomando. No. Desde el 29 de noviembre, del 29 de enero hasta ahorita no tomo.
I have not drunk anything from 29th of January till the date.
All right. So it appears that you're one of those people who cannot drink alcohol. I've been reading the police report. In the police report, it says that you almost caused a crash. And what I've discovered is when people are driving and they're intoxicated, if they cause a crash, usually they're just fine. The person who ends up being injured is the person who's sober. You understand?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty, sentence you to a $2,000 fine. That will be probated.
Thank you, Judge.
1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 1 year. Are you employed?
Sí.
Yes.
And what do you do?
Trabajo para Alamo Interior.
I work for Alamo Interior.
All right. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. I'm going to ask for 160 sober meetings and 160 days. I'm going to allow that in lieu of the community service hours. There should be a 2-year Texas driver's license suspension. Ignition interlock. Well, a 2-year license suspension. You're not allowed to drive here or in any other state. So there's going to be a 2-year license suspension. Ignition interlock, the full term. There'll be scram until further notice. Now, with regards to the 3 days in the Bexar County Jail, he has a choice. And the only reason I'm giving this choice, I give it to everybody because I know there's overcrowding at the jail. And I know there may be health issues. So since he's employed, he can either do 30 days on GPS, partial for employment only, or he can do 3 days at the Bexar County Jail.
Just thinking it out, Judge, does the scram device, can it be one device?
You'll have to clear it with them to see.
Okay.
Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. Probation is shaking their head no.
Okay. Okay, that's that. Do you want to do the GPS device? Or go to jail? Device. Thought so. We'll do the device, Judge.
All right, so do you choose the device or the 3 days in the Bexar County Jail? All right, so GPS is going to need to be on Friday. Is that possible or no? Yes.
Yeah.
September 3rd,
Readily available.
and the Scram device, you say that's 30 days. Is he currently on any type of device now?
The ignition interlock, Judge, as a condition of bond.
Ah, okay. All right, because I wanted to make sure he's monitored because we have a holiday upcoming.
He's monitored, yeah, he's being monitored one way or the other.
Okay. All right, then we'll do Scram until further notice. 30 days, partial GPS for employment only. And what date do you want to give him for GPS and for Scram probation? An estimate, really. All right, you're going to obtain the GPS by September 9th, 2024, and Scram by September 30th, 2024. And I'm going to want a referral to felony drug court and a TAP evaluation out of custody. And follow TAP recommendations if not accepted into felony drug court.
Can he go to felony drug court on a misdemeanor, Judge?
Yes, sometimes they will. It's just, sometimes it's the length.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, just as a question, for the Scram, obviously, I know that the agreement was 90 days, and you said until further notice. You want me to just come in and file a motion, or will kind of probation kind of
Oh,
give you
it's
that?
until on further notice. So I will tell you this, definitely don't come back before the 90 days.
of course not.
Yes.
Yeah, no. I just wanted to make sure that it was something that I would need to do versus something that
Oh,
probation gets
probation
automatically.
will let me know.
Okay, perfect, Judge.
All right, probation, is there anything else he needs? All right, field visits. 1 time per month for 3 months. All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
How do you mean?
Oh, do you need anything that will help you complete this successfully and not end up at the Bexar County Jail for potentially
No.
for potentially a year?
No, nomás agradecerle todo lo que hizo por mí.
No, just to thank you for everything that you did for me.
All right, thank you. You're welcome.
Sí.
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. If you ever need anything and you feel that no one is addressing it, you can always come back to the court.
Gracias, muy amable y que tenga buen día. God bless
Thank you, very kind, and have a good day. God bless.
Oh, Donata,
you.
thank you. Jesus Trevino, if you'll come down, please. So Teresa, on this one, we're awaiting an evaluation.
Well, the evaluation came through. Tomorrow we have our hearing.
Okay,
And so then after that, I think we'll be good to go.
all right. So do you know what they're saying the results are?
Well, they're saying that he is competent, and so we have to.
All right, so what I'll do,
I was thinking of, I was almost thinking about getting a second evaluation, but in talking to him throughout all the months and stuff that I've had him as my client, he does sound much better, so it might be
okay,
correct.
when do you want him brought back here?
Here, well, I don't know, 30 days,
I mean, we can do,
because he's got so many cases.
oh, how many cases does he have?
He has a few, Judge. Let me get my phone just for my phone.
All right, I'll be able to look on our docket sheet. Let me see.
I think some just got.
Well, he does have an evading and a
Right,
theft case, and then he has a drug case less than a gram.
right. So I don't know if all of them have been indicted yet,
Mhm.
or just some of them, or,
All right, how about this? I'll recall it in 3 weeks to see where we are.
okay.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 3-week reset on Trevino, please? All right, we'll be back on September 19th.
Thank you.
All right, is that good for you, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, it is, Judge.
All right, we'll see you back on the 19th.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ms. Perez, just give me a moment. All right, so Ms. Perez, on your case, The state informed me that there was going to be a plea on this case, but that this felony case needed to remain open so that she could be reviewed for Esperanza Court.
That's correct,
I
Judge.
can hold her for Esperanza Court, so that's not a problem. So they're gonna send you paperwork and we're gonna take care of it today.
The problem with that, Judge, is that Esperanza Court, I believe, I guess Judge Vara spoke to the director, Natalie, I believe, and she stated that she will be released if she pleads out on both cases, and so that's not.
No, not
no.
if I put a directive in that she's to be held until interviewed by Esperanza Court, she will not be released. So Esperanza Court will be able to interview her at the jail. But I'm not going to have this case out here if the whole purpose is she's gonna plea on this case also, but we're just afraid that they're gonna release her. She could make bond on this case, then she'll be released anyway. So we'll
That's
do the.
correct, Judge, but I guess the other issue is that this case is still unindicted. I had Norma set this case so that we could confer because we kept getting reset on the misdemeanor and there was already results back. And so there is not an indictment as well, so.
Oh, that's why they do it as a waiver plea.
I don't know, Daniel, it's up to you. I mean, can I confer with Daniel real briefly, Judge?
Sure. I'll put you in a waiting room. All right. Dela Cruz, come forward.
How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Pretrial Services says you're not reporting to them. They haven't had contact with you.
I have been. I actually just got off the phone with I forgot what his name was. I think it's McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
It's McCoy. Yeah, he said he was gonna send you a letter and everything to clear everything up. Because I was leaving, they had another officer that I was supposed to report to. I was leaving messages on both ends, and then I also emailed them as well. And then he said he was gonna send a letter. I think that was either Monday or Tuesday. And then I know I don't want you to repeat yourself, but I know you did say that's not the same with reporting to your bondsman, but I have been reporting to my bondsman as well.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send an email
Yes, ma'am.
to Pretrial Services and have them zoom in.
Okay. Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So just have a seat and
Yes,
we
ma'am.
will take it up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 10268 and 2024 CR 3168. State of Texas versus Joseph Kruger. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state? For the defense?
Adam LaHood.
All right, in each of these cause numbers, the defense has filed motion to set bond. State, have you had a chance to review the cause numbers?
No, Your Honor.
And have you had a chance to review the motion to set bond?
No.
All right, if you all will step back, he'll review it and then we'll take it up immediately.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Mr. Montes, if you'll come down, please. Hello. Hi. So, Mr. Montes, has a doctor come see you yet?
For what?
Just to talk to you about any issues?
Yes, I think so. They talked to me, like they did a psychiatric thing on for rehab and they checked my pill medication
Okay.
and they said what would I like to do and I told them rehab and then I still haven't
Okay.
called since.
So this is what's going to end up happening. They're going to give a report to me and we'll bring you back as soon as that report is done. I'm going to set it for September 30th, but if they're done sooner than that, we'll bring you back sooner. Do you understand?
No.
Okay. So I cannot go forward with your case until a doctor tells me that you're okay to go forward.
Okay.
All right. So I have to wait for them to send me a report.
Yes, sir.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing fine.
All right. Have you been getting facial tattoos while you've been at the jail, or that's before the jail?
That's before.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Will I be able to go for time served next September or? do I
Well,
have to
that'll
go
be
to-
something that your attorney will have to work on, okay?
All right.
That's what's called plea negotiations. So what will end up happening is your attorney will speak with the state, after he's reviewed your case, because he may say this case needs to be dismissed and you don't want to plead to something that should be dismissed. Or he may say, okay, let's see if we can work something out. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any family?
Yes.
Have they been visiting you or calling you?
No, I've been contacting them.
Okay. So have they been answering your calls?
Yes.
All right. How old are you?
25.
Okay. All right. So what's going to happen, Deputy Laura, they're going to take you back. And then what will end up happening is I'll make sure that we get in touch with your attorney, because if he wants you brought over sooner than September 30th, we'll bring you over sooner. All right. All right. Have a good day. Okay. All right. Mr. Kruger, come down. All right. We are back on the record in 2023 CR 10268 and 2024 CR 3168, State of Texas versus Joseph Kruger. And if the parties could re-announce for the record, please.
Adam LaHood for the defendant, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Kruger?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. In each of these cause numbers, the defense has filed a motion to set bond. State, have you had a chance to review the motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Yes, Judge. I believe we have an agreement, if the court is inclined to follow it, between the defense and the state. You said, is it 20 and 25 injured?
20,000 on 2023 CR 10268.
I'll slow down. So on what case and what's the amount?
20,000.
Okay. What you're requesting?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there a reason why he doesn't have a bond?
He got rearrested towards the beginning of the month. At that time, that's what triggered the remand without bond. He has a bond on the new case, but he was remanded without bond on these cases.
All right. And what's the new case?
It's an evading arrest in a vehicle. I don't know much about it. I think discovery just got uploaded this morning. I haven't had a chance to really review it, but the allegation is for evading in a motor vehicle.
All right, Mr. Kruger, I have a few questions to ask you. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Judge.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Joseph Kruger.
All right. Do you have any type of employment?
Yes, ma'am. HVAC. I do HVAC work, and I've already lost it now. I haven't had no communication with them. Joe only called
I'm
collect.
sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
I have no communication with my work employment. I had no access to the phone numbers. Jailers won't give me no phone number for me to call. My phones were thrown in the back of the trunk of my vehicle. I was very disrespectful, handed as a citizen. As the video showed, I was asking them what I do wrong.
No, here's the thing. My question for you is,
I have a job.
do you have employment? Yes or no?
Right now, I don't know. It's up in the air because I've been locked up for 3 weeks now.
If I may clarify something, Judge,
Yes.
before you were arrested, were you working?
Yes, sir.
Where were you working before you got arrested?
Blanco Heating and Cooling.
Assuming that you didn't lose that,
Sorry, what?
Blanco Heating and Cooling in
But-
Blanco, Texas.
assuming that you weren't terminated because of the arrest, is that your intention to go back and work for Blanco Heating and Cooling?
Yes, sir. To plead, if I lost my job, to plead back for my employment.
Okay.
Have you ever used any drugs?
In the past history, yes, ma'am.
What?
Marijuana, cocaine back in the 90s. Marijuana was my thing back. I got to sleep in the court a couple of times, and I was straight up with you about it. But I haven't done it since I got my job. And I was doing side jobs here and there before I got the Blanco Heating and Cooling job. But I'm clean.
Any mental health issues?
No, ma'am.
Ever been diagnosed with mental health issues?
No.
All right. So I don't know the circumstances behind this case, but if he's working HVAC, I don't think he should be working inside people's homes. So is the primary work that he does outside the home?
Commercial, residential, but I have my license. I got that when I was in federal prison, ma'am.
All right. So based upon his charges, I don't think anyone would want him working in places where he has the potential to have access to documentation for evading, I think, and for these two cases.
That would be my understanding. It's the evading came at the beginning of August, so he's been more or less, well, he has been locked up since that day.
Well, what I can say about closing boring doors, sometimes I'm not the person who opened the door. Whoever gave the conditions left the door open. And so sometimes I see it as my duty to close it. What I can tell you is that as part of your conditions of bond, I'm going to order that you let employers know what you're charged with. And you're going to have to do it in writing.
I was in a vehicle, rental car, not my vehicle. I don't know whose car that was.
No,
We'll talk about it.
I'm just doing strictly with this. I don't know the facts of your case. Nobody has presented any facts of your case to me because I guess people don't want me to know what the facts of your case are. But what I'm just telling you, based upon what you're charged with, I don't think anyone would want you working in a position where you have access to identifying information. If this is commercial, if you're only working outside, then maybe you don't have access to identifying information. If it's somebody's home and you're working outside, and maybe you're never coming inside to get access to identifying information.
Residentials that we do, ma'am, it's renting homes. There's no residents living inside there.
I don't think you should be inside a home, period.
Okay.
So I don't know, counsel, how do you want to address that?
And it's certainly within the court's discretion as far as what conditions he'd want. I would tell him if it's not to be within the home, if he does work on the commercial basis, it would have to be exterior of the buildings. I know HVAC units are on the outside on the roof
Yeah.
or things of that nature. And I'll make sure, like I said, he notifies in writing. I'll even draft a letter for him to give, explain the charges that are pending.
Okay. Then, and the cause number ending in 10268. I'll follow your agreement. Set your bond at $20,000. There's to be no employment within residential homes or inside commercial buildings which are occupied. And there is to be regular, random UAs, waive fees. And in the cause number ending in 3168, I'll follow your agreement and set your bond at $25,000. There's to be no employment within residential homes or inside commercial buildings which are occupied. All right, your jury trial is scheduled for November 4th.
Yes, I believe that's correct, Judge.
All right, and was he given a reset form at the last time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
We signed, we had two, it got a little confusing. We had two reset forms though, one for today and then one for the 4th of November.
Okay,
And both dates show up on Odyssey if you look at them.
yes. Okay, you'll be back on November 4th for your jury trial.
If you get out.
All right, good luck to you.
Is I want to get you a business card when you get out. Just get in touch with me, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
You're
You have a good-
welcome. All right, Miss Medina, come down. Hello, you understand what's happening?
No.
All right, so they're saying that you're going to be taken to misdemeanor court and that they're going to have you evaluated for Esperanza Court, which is a treatment court.
Yes.
And if Esperanza Court accepts you, then this case will be dismissed. Is that correct? All right, so this case is a drug case? All right, so do y'all have the labs? So why are we not just doing that here and then I can order Esperanza Court? No, it'll happen in custody. So Ms. Ferguson, if you can have Anita Garza come back here. All right, we'll take care of it today.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Arnold Garza, if you can come down.
Hey, Your Honor, how you doing?
Hello, how are you doing?
I can't complain.
All right, just give me one moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Dela Cruz, Officer McCory. Hello, Officer McCory. You're on mute.
Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Hi, thank you so much for zooming in. I appreciate it. We're here on Mr. Dela Cruz. Have you had contact with him?
Yes, we actually spoke and completed our orientation on the 22nd.
All right. So is there anything else that he needs to do? Do you have all of his correct contact information?
Yes, I do.
All right. And you have his contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is the officer you will be in contact with for your pretrial services.
Yes, ma'am, going forward. I also received a text as well today. Contact.
All right, and so pretrial services is different from showing up to court and different from what your bondsman, because
Yes, ma'am.
maybe your bondsman will just know about your court dates,
Yes, ma'am.
but not about this. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
make sure that you stay in contact with them.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Thank you so much for zooming in, officer. You're excused.
Thank you.
All right. So Ms. Garza, on this case, have you received any of the discovery?
I have not.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, recall this in 30 days for discovery. All right, so we'll be back on September 30th.
Yes, ma'am.
At that time, your counsel will let me know she's received all of the discovery.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. Thank you for dressing
Thank
appropriately.
you. I appreciate that.
All right, just have a seat and Ms. Ferguson will call you up with the reset
Thank you.
form.
Have a
Excuse
blessed.
me, hold on a second.
Yes.
Mr. De La Cruz,
Yes, ma'am.
I need to be able to contact you personally.
I know I'm getting all that situated. I do apologize.
Okay.
It's been a little rough these past couple of weeks.
All right, I need to
I'm
be
getting
able to
situated.
contact you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
Do you have
Thank
her
you.
number?
Yes, I do have her. Yeah, I got everything in mind.
All right, and you have her email and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so
All right.
this is what you need to do. You need to text her, you need to email her your information,
Mhm.
because it does no good to have an attorney and you're not in
Yeah.
contact.
No, I understand. I understand. It's just, it's a lot of stuff on this.
All
side.
right, you
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
put it on the calendar, okay?
I will. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Have a blessed one.
All right, you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Excuse, Judge?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Bye-bye. So,
What? I didn't hear what he said, Judge.
all right, so what he's saying is that you need to come back down to the 187 District Court and we'll wait for you here. And then after this, I'm gonna go next door to see Mr. Allison off. I hope I have not missed it. Court is calling 2022 CR 7734, State of Texas versus Arnold Garza. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Andrew Harris, Italy.
Defense?
Let me cram you up, Mr. Garza, who's to my right.
And are you Mr. Garza?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, Mr. Garza, did you review the document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I sure did.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Arnold Garza who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 7734 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on May 9th, 2023 for a term of 6 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State and the other violations?
Waive and abandon the remaining violation allegations, Your Honor.
Any objection?
None.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 6 years in the prison and a $1,500 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Revoke supervision.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Garza, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I sure.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Probation, do you know if the lab testing for SAPD, if that fee was paid?
It was not.
It was not?
It was not.
All right. Do you have amount? All right, the court will follow your agreement, grant the motion, sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be restitution to SAPD for laboratory testing. All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
I'm at 40.
All right, 10 more years. You're going to be on the downside of your life unless you're expecting to live past 100.
Yes, ma'am.
Maybe you will. Who knows?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to have to change your life.
Yes,
If you don't, you're going to end up living in prison.
ma'am. I understand that.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you. You have a good day, man.
You too. All right, so I'm going to take a break, everyone. Yeah. Hey, come on down. Okay, what is your name?
Medina.
Okay, let me just find you on the docket. Do you know the case number you were given? Yes. What's the case number you were given? 2024?
TR 008-948
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 008948W, State of Texas versus Francis Medina. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel S. Clark with State of Texas.
For the defense?
Tony Jimenez for Miss Medina. I just need to ask you a few questions. I explained to you earlier that I'm going to be standing in for Anita Garza. Is that correct?
Yes.
And after we had that brief discussion, do you raise any objections to me standing in for
No.
Miss Garza today?
No.
And do you understand that everything that we went over is the same thing that Miss Garza spoke to you about
Yes.
earlier,
Yes.
as far as the agreements and
Yes.
your signatures and all of that?
Yes.
So you're fine with me standing in for Miss
Yes.
Garza?
Yes.
That's all, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, counsel, you've received all of the discovery. Are you aware that Ms. Garza has received all of the discovery in this case?
I'm aware, Your Honor.
All right. And did Ms. Garza go over the discovery with you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with
Yes,
your
ma'am.
attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure with your
Yes.
attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it?
Yes.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to hold you over for trial?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up that right?
Yes.
Did you understand that your attorney has certain rights, namely 2 days, a full 2 days after the information has been presented to him,
Yes.
and also 10 days to prepare for trial?
Yes.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to enter a plea bargain agreement in this case and give up all of those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. And the court will find that the state is in compliance with. Did you understand you're charged by information with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, less than 1 gram?
Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
state jail felony.
Yes, ma'am.
Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? All right, I'm gonna need you to speak up a little bit, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication, and they're asking that you be considered for the Esperanza Court. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand that if the court follows this agreement, the court will ask that you remain in custody until you're interviewed and accepted with Esperanza Court?
Yes, ma'am.
And if Esperanza Court does not accept you, then you will come back to this court and we'll figure out what's the best course of action. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand that was a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right,
Just
So-
respectfully, if the court would follow the state's recommendation.
all right. So, Miss Medina, when's the last time you had employment?
About like 20 something years. I've been disability for like over a lot of years.
All right, what's your disability?
941.
Okay.
I've
All
been
right,
disabled. I'm 100% disabled.
okay. All right, do you have any grandchildren?
Yes, I have 24.
24 grandchildren? Oh
Yes.
my gosh.
Yes, my kids got busy.
All right, so how old is the youngest?
She's like 6,
And how
and
old
my
is the
oldest, she turned 16 this May.
Wait a minute. The youngest one is,
Like 6. Yes, I got 4 boys and 2 girls.
all right, no, your grandchildren. You say you have a total of 24 grandchildren?
Yes, my oldest one is my first one was born. She's 16. I'm 51.
Okay, and you have 24 grandchildren?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. They miss me dearly.
all right. So there's going to be a $500 fine.
Okay.
That will be probated. So what that means is if you successfully complete everything, you won't have to pay that.
Okay.
2 years deferred adjudication. This is what I want done in custody. I want an evaluation for Esperanza Court and a TAP evaluation. If she's not accepted into Esperanza Court, then we'll come back here and I'll see what the TAP evaluation says, okay?
Okay.
There's going to be proof of employment for SSI within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no contact with Keith D, as in David
Yes, ma'am.
Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. So if you're having contact with your grandchildren, there needs to be another adult there for
Okay.
supervision.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom
Yes, ma'am.
or in person.
Okay.
120 sober meetings
Okay.
and 120 days. Field visits,
Yes, ma'am.
1 time per month
Yes, ma'am.
until further notice.
Yes, ma'am.
120 hours of community service restitution. Since you have 24 grandchildren, I'm sure some of them are very young.
Yes, they are.
Once you complete parenting classes, then I'll deem the community service hours satisfied.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
And there's going to be regular random UAs.
Yes, ma'am.
Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Oh, ma'am, that'll be it.
All right. All right, we can go off the record. So here's the thing. Some of the activities that you've been engaging in, those are very dangerous
Yes,
to your
ma'am.
health.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know about it. If
Okay.
you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court and talk to me.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're accepted into Esperanza Court, that's a treatment court.
Okay.
What that means is they will monitor your progress.
Okay.
And when you I'm going to say when, not if. When you graduate from Esperanza Court, let me know and I will show up to your graduation, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll be there, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
So I'm just gonna wait for Esperanza and that's it.
No, what's going to happen, probation is going to go over conditions with you.
Okay.
And then Esperanza Court will probably see you at the latest, maybe September 3rd, because September 2nd is a holiday.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, sure. Have a
Seeing you.
good one. Oh, you too, always.
Oh, yes.
Aw. Thank you.